Kenny Rittenhouse, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, Tim. I appreciate it, man.
Long time coming.
Yes. You finally made it happen.
a lot of obstacles, but we made it. So welcome to my home, and thanks for being here.
Beautiful studio, man. Beautiful studio.
Hey folks, welcome to episode 7 of the AceTone Sessions. I'm your host, Tim Whalen. Today's guest is Kenny Rittenhouse. Kenny's a great trumpet player, composer, arranger, band leader, and teacher. Something I've always appreciated about Kenny is his ability to get rid of the barrier between the audience and the band. He has a way of loosening folks up, getting them involved. It really reminds me of the great Horace Silver. The beauty of that is when you're in the band, it gets everybody loose and ready to bring it. That's all to say I'm really happy he's here, and I'm thrilled that you're here. Please hit that subscribe button, and welcome to episode 7 of the AceTone Sessions. So I wanted to write something that, to me, kind of maybe encapsulated how I see you as a musician and as a person, you know. So I wrote this tune, Kenny's Groove. We like to talk about groove, you know.
Tim, Tim wrote a hard tune for me, man. But it's a good tune. It's a great tune.
Well, the thing I think we were talking about this off camera, but this is one of the, not first, but I was writing a lot of tunes that were maybe complex for complex sake. And I wanted to write something that swung. It's got a cedar influence, but something that doesn't have a crazy melody, but maybe the harmony underneath it's moving in interesting ways. So it's like simple melody, not so simple harmony.
The melody swings, man. I love it.
Well, I was hearing you when I wrote it, you know, so that's the beauty of inspiration. So I hope you all enjoy Kenny's Groove. This is kind of a general question, but everybody's got a different journey to where we are now.
Right.
It has to start somewhere. So for you, like, you've got your trumpet, we're playing improvised music. How did you get to that instrument, and what drew you to it?
Louis Armstrong.
Okay. And maybe what was the first instance where you really said, "Whoa, I really want to do this"?
Well, I mean, I saw Louis Armstrong on TV. I don't remember when, so I believe he was actually still alive. So, and then like shortly after, I was in the 6th grade, and the band director came around and wanted to know who wanted to play an instrument. I said, all my sisters and my sisters and myself, we said, let's play.
Yeah.
Let's grab an instrument. And I went to the trumpet because I saw Louis Armstrong on TV playing the trumpet. It wasn't an epiphany. It was just, I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
So I'll pick that instrument.
Sure.
And lo and behold, I wasn't too bad at it. I think, I wasn't like my chops were kind of set up to play it, and I didn't have any major issues, producing a sound on it. So and I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
So from there on, I was a band nerd, man, trumpet nerd for the rest of my life.
Still are.
Still am. Yeah.
Proud.
Yeah.
After seeing Louis, so it was just middle school band, and do you remember the first kind of jazz experience you had improvising?
It was improvising. Yeah. Actual improvising. I didn't actually start improvising until college.
Okay.
We had junior high band. What was that, like 7th and 8th grade, and then we had high school band, and even in high school I wasn't improvising. I was playing the written solos, or I was writing out solos.
Okay.
Sort of, most of my focus in high school was actually more on the classical side of the trumpet, because that was when Wynton Marsalis came out.
Getting the chops together.
Wynton Marsalis came out and won the Grammys for both classical and jazz, and that inspired me, so I started playing that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Didn't improvise till college, man. Actually, probably even the second year of college is when I really got into it.
Okay. Well, what's interesting, though, is it was in there because you wrote out solos. Yeah. So you had an inkling for what the language is supposed to sound like. That's interesting, though, because a kid that doesn't improvise, they probably wouldn't know how to write out a solo.
Right. Now, you mentioned language. That's the key word there. I didn't really know any language, but I was listening to a lot of Maynard Ferguson and Chuck Mangione. So, I kind of went with this particular tune. I knew the groove of the tune, so I'm like, I think this might sound right over this tune. Yeah. And I wrote it out. And so I did have a recording of me trying to play over Secret Love in high school one time, improvising. Like I thought I could do it, and it was hilarious. It was awful. Awful.
I still have those awful moments. Shit, I might have had a few today.
Yeah, I know I did. But it wasn't until college, this trumpet player who was a band director in town, a high school band director in town, gave me a tape of Studying Brown, Clifford Brown.
Oh, yeah.
And it blew me away.
Yeah.
Completely changed my life instantly. So
I love that record.
I would consider that my absolute first inspiration.
Yeah.
To improvise.
It was that turning point where it went from seeing Louis and kind of, this is cool. And then it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
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 My moment for that was hearing Milestones.
All right.
With Red Garland and Train, and I had never heard Cannonball before. Yeah, same thing. It was after I heard Milestones, it's back when they had the Columbia House. Kids, this was a thing where you could, for a penny, you could get like 15 CDs.
And then
then you'd be on the hook for like $20 a CD or something. But Milestones is one of them. And that was the same thing. It was like something shifted. Yeah. Even though I couldn't really play, like a love for it really changed. So I get that.
Well, that was one of the most, those records right around that time period is what I recommend to people when they ask me, I want to get into jazz, what should I listen to? and they say, I know about Miles Davis. Check this out.
Right.
You know, it's very listenable.
Yeah.
But they're playing some mean stuff on there, heavy stuff.
Clifford's gone so soon. So you brought in this great tune, Waltz for a Lovely Day. Part of this whole series is I like to write music for my guest and let the guest bring in something just as a way to showcase some music, you know. Right. And everybody has their own process of writing. So I just kind of wanted to dig into, for this tune in particular, and then maybe in general, but what was the seed of this tune? How did you put it together? What was your process?
Well, I was sitting in front of the piano at home, in front of this, we have a large picture window that goes out into the neighborhood. And I was sitting there, and I've written quite a few tunes this way, where I just start playing chords on the piano. I just start playing whatever comes to my mind, and I kind of make it up right there. And I got these chords down, you know, the little sort of melancholy chords from one minor to the next. Yeah. And I say, it needs to go to a major sounding, you know. And I kind of, that was my process. I just kind of I sat there for about a half an hour, put on my, recorded it on my iPhone to get to it later. And didn't actually come up with the name until later, you know, probably like a couple of months later. You know, and I'm just saying, Waltz for a Lovely Day. Yeah. And it was a lovely day. I think it was a lovely day when I was writing. Because I'm used to titling my songs with very specific titles, very specific meanings. And this one, I'm like, you know, just like the groove, you know. And the way I write is, for this particular tune, you'll notice the melody stays kind of close. It doesn't really go that, but I like to do that and then write different progressions underneath it to see if, you know, how long can I keep that G flat going, you know, under all these, you know, with these different chords and stuff. Sure. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, nothing else kind of went into it. I just kind of wanted to write a nice waltz.
When you're writing, it may be different. Do you start on paper and pen, or do you go right into the notation software, or does it depend?
Actually, it goes into my voice memos on my phone.
Man, I love that.
No matter where I am.
Yeah.
So I go back and listen to voice memos from 2 years ago, and you'll hear dogs barking, or you'll hear a carnival. I'm saying a carnival or something, or on the interstate. Right. It actually starts there. Sometimes with a melody, other times with just a rhythmic groove.
Yeah, just singing something you're feeling.
And then I'll if I have access, I'll get to the piano and kind of work out some stuff. But then I'll pretty much go immediately to the software. I'll actually do you know, I'll plug it into like a Finale or Bandleader box or something, to where I can just kind of hear the chords. I can't really voice piano chords fast enough on some tunes. I'm just not at that skill level on the piano. But just to kind of hear it and get an idea. And lots of times, you know, where I start, well, where I want it to start will be drastically different. Yeah. You know, other times it'll be kind of close. But that's how I kind of do it. I don't spend a ton of time at the piano. I don't have an acoustic piano at home, and some of the tunes that I have written in the past, I've sat down at the acoustic piano. Right. I was at a hotel once, and then we had a really nice grand piano, and I just sat down for about 40 minutes.
And just lived in that sound for a minute.
Absolutely.
Get inspired.
Absolutely. I'm like, wow, these chords kind of sound nice.
Sounds
on this piano.
On a nice instrument. Yeah.
You know, on this other piano, that wasn't working. And that's what that's inspiration. Sure. You know, that's tells me I need to get an acoustic piano. But yeah, but most of the time I go straight to the notation software and get it down, so I can kind of see it, visualize it, and then I know it's there. Then I may not get back to it for 2 or 3 months. Right. You know, in fact, I've got 4 tunes right now in the queue that have been sitting there for maybe 4 or 5 months. Yeah. But now I went back and listened to them, and it's just a matter of sitting down and working them out. Yeah. So and my writing is groove based. You know, if I was a piano player or guitar player dealing with those chords on a daily basis, I can sit down and just do that. But but I can't. So I go my other route. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to do what works.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where can people find you if they want to know more about where you're playing? I'm sure you have a website.
Yeah, KennyRittenhouse.com.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to update my schedule. I'm still on the old COVID schedule.
Yeah, we all are.
You know, and I'm on Facebook as well.
Okay.
I'll tend to post some stuff on there a little bit more frequently.
Do you have any recording plans coming up? I know you've got a couple records out, right?
I've got a couple records. I've got one I did in 2006, I believe, called the Francis Suite, and then I've got one in, I believe, 2013 is when I recorded it in New York Suite, a septet.
Yeah.
First one was a sextet. This last one is a septet.
Great.
Really proud of it. But as far as more recordings, I've done some virtual, video recording that I'm going to kind of release, put on the website, maybe put on Facebook a little bit, but nothing major, no studio recordings coming up.
Okay.
I'm getting close.
Yeah.
I've had my same band now for, solid year or two, and we've been doing some things. So hope to get in the studio.
You thinking another all original record?
No, never all original. I actually was thinking of something more on the traditional side, more like as like maybe standards.
Oh, cool.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's great.
Sometimes I tend to write some charts that I end up on gigs not playing a lot of for some reason, because of the types of gigs that I'm doing.
Right.
So, and a lot of times cats want to hear standards. They just want to hear some standards, and so I think I'm doing a record of that. There'll be a few originals on it, I think.
Sure. Great. Do you have any gigs coming up?
I have. Yes, I have.
I played my first one in May in over a year.
Where?
At Epicure. I played with Joseph Henson.
Oh, Joe, yeah.
It was crazy. I was like, wow. And there was a crowd and everything. It was like, wow, this feels so good,
That's great, man. That's great.
So you got anything coming up?
We have a thing on at the Strathmore. The Strathmore has this outdoor patio summer concerts, and we're on there July 18th. It's a Sunday, and it's my group doing a couple sets in the evening. That should be really fun.
Oh, that'll be great.
That should be really fun.
Outside, July, people.
Yeah.
Interaction.
It's nice. They got a nice stage. It's under a huge tent and everything, so it's going to be pretty cool.
I love what they do there. It's great.
A live gig. Nice.
in our own sweet way.
Music is everything to me. I can't imagine not having music in my life. It's in my head pretty much all day long, and it brings me joy. I'm always searching out new music to create, new music to just simply listen to and learn that other people have made. It's a big part of my life. It's an extension of my being, really. And I would say that without music, there's no me.